Pleasure to meet you. It's allegedly Demetria. You can go ahead and put your feet up. Might as well turn up your speakers. Pleasure to meet you. It's allegedly Demetria. You can go ahead and put your feet up. Might as well turn up the speakers. All to the top besides. Then I turn up like a boss. No problem helping the loss. All of the filters be off. Check out a couple reactions. Go get you something to snack with. Back to Demetria the broadcast. Chopping it up on the podcast. Don't forget like and subscribe. You never know who gon' slide. Leave a comment, baby. We been on shit lately. Say whatever's on your mind. Can I have a good time? You already know how it go. Relax and enjoy the show. Pleasure to meet you. It's allegedly Demetria. You can go ahead and put your feet up. Might as well turn up your speakers. Pleasure to meet you. It's allegedly Demetria. You can go ahead and put your feet up. Might as well turn up the speakers. Pleasure to meet you. It's allegedly Demetria. You can go ahead and put your feet up. Might as well turn up your speakers. Pleasure to meet you. It's allegedly Demetria. You can go ahead and put your feet up. Might as well turn up the speakers. Yeah.
Yeah.
You got
What's up?
another
What's up? What's
episode.
up?
How you doing?
I'm good. I'm good. How you doing?
I'm good.
We back at it again. If y'all don't know, this is allegedly
Demetria.
Demetria.
This we got some reaction videos. Some videos we finna react to. You know what I'm saying? But let's get straight into it. Make sure y'all like, share, comment,
Comment and
subscribe.
subscribe.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
But yeah, nah. Here you go.
Story 1.
Mm.
Story 1. The moonlit dance of the Wendigo. Ah, my sweet ones. Let me transport you to a time when our ancestors roamed the lands, and the tales they carried whispered of creatures that haunted the edges of reality. Picture your great-grandfather, a man whose heart thrived on adventure, as he ventured into the heart of the wilderness on that fateful night. The moon, a pale sentinel in the night sky, cast its eerie glow upon the land, transforming the ordinary into the extraordinary. Imagine the soft crunch of leaves beneath his boots, the wind's mournful howls wrapping around him like an invisible shroud, as I recount his footsteps, echoing through the silence. Envision the tension that seemed to hang in the air, tangible and heavy. There, in the heart of the night, he encountered them, the hollow eyes of the Wendigo, orbs that seemed to burn with an insatiable hunger. The wind carried the creature's mournful cries, and the campfire's flickering light cast...
Wait a minute. What? Did you hear that?
You know, especially this scene right here. I think this scene in particular is from what I'm about to say. Silver Bullet.
Yeah, I remember that.
I believe, if I'm not mistaken, this could be that scene right there. Could be a scene
From that movie.
yeah, but
That's crazy. What would you do?
I've seen the movie one too many times, so I definitely would survive. Uh, I'd probably handle a situation similar to how Shorty did in the movie. Go around the community, figure out who it is. I probably suspect the least suspect person, because that's usually who it is.
Yeah.
And then I'd be melting all the silver and then smoking that nigga. Smoking. You? What would you do?
The same. The same. Yeah.
Okay.
eerie shapes that danced with the rhythm of his fear. But remember, my darlings, that this tale holds more than a fleeting glimpse into the unknown. Your great-grandfather's heart raced as he fled, his footsteps and panicked breaths carried away by the wind. And when he returned to the village, the The marks left by the creature were more than just a memory, a deep gash upon his shoulder, a chilling testament to the Wendigo's touch. As you sit by the fire, let your imagination take you back to that moonlit night where the boundaries between reality and myth blurred into something far more terrifying. Story 2, The Haunting Call of the Skinwalker. Lean in, my precious ones, as I draw you into a world where nature's beauty conceals the hidden terrors that lurk beneath.
This is amazingly narrated.
Yeah.
Wouldn't you say?
Yeah, I will say the same. He said draw you in.
This is
Draw
amazing.
you in for what?
This is amazingly narrated.
Yeah.
Like, don't you know, like, when you're a kid and like, my grandma used to do this a lot with us. Your mother, she used to do this a lot with us. We would sit down and we would tell stories. Before we go to bed, we would tell scary stories. And if I only had some shit like
I
this, I
know,
would have like,
right?
mm,
Bam.
yeah, that would have,
Nailed it.
yeah. But yeah, so this is right up my alley.
Yeah.
This is right up my
So what do you think he's leading to?
alley. I'm just, I think more so is, like they say, 10 stories, you know what I'm saying? Of, just chilling ideas to get the mind going. You know what I'm saying?
I agree.
Imagine a group of
Did she used to tell scary stories with you?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah. That's how I fell in love with horror.
Okay.
That's
Okay.
absolutely.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
friends whose laughter and camaraderie echoed through the night, filling the air with a sense of youthful invincibility. As the night settled in, they gathered around the campfire, the flames casting shifting shadows that danced like specters upon the ground. The wind whispered secrets, secrets, secrets that carried the weight of ancient mysteries waiting to be unveiled. But as the darkness deepened, so did their unease. Claw marks marred their belongings, and footprints appeared as if conjured by an unseen force. The wind's whispers grew ominous, as if it bore the burden of a malevolence that was about to be unleashed. And then, a blood-curdling howl pierced the stillness, a howl that seemed to echo, not just through the night.
What was that called?
Echoing, not just through the night. I mean, the way that it's narrated is,
Who is dude?
we'll look at his channel and see in a second. But I
Narrated amazing.
rolling
Mm.
one of them.
But through the very core of their souls, the campfire's light flickered, as if sensing the presence of something beyond human understanding, and the shadows seemed to writhe and twist in response. Imagine the sensation of your own heart racing, your breaths quickening in time with the tale. The Skinwalker's call had woven its spell, ensnaring their hearts and minds in a web of terror.
But
As you listen to this tale, my dear ones, let your imagination carry you to that very campfire, where the boundary between reality and nightmare blurred into something far more horrifying. Story 3, Relentless Curse of the Werewolf. Allow me to transport you to a moonlit night, when the very air seemed to shimmer with magic, a night that changed the course of your grandfather's life forever. Imagine his footsteps echoing through the stillness, the wind's whispers an eerie symphony in the background. As he ventured deeper into the wilderness, the creature's eyes glowed with an otherworldly fire, its chilling howls resonating through the very marrow of his bones. The wind seemed to carry the creature's mournful cries, as if it were a part of the dark symphony that echoed through the night. The camp
now, one thing. There's this place called Skinwalker Ranch. Um, and they say a lot of like crazy activity go on there. It's
Where is that at?
if I'm not mistaken, it's
Don't lie
like
now.
Silicon Valley.
I never heard of it.
Um, if I'm not mistaken. But how I got privy to it was through those kinds of individuals. A lot of those people are in the crypto space, and a lot of those people own different crypto companies. And one of the crypto owners is best friends with a guy who owns or is the owner now of Skinwalker Ranch. And it's like this little documentary they be having on Netflix and stuff like that. And a lot of like wild activity be having happen on this ranch and like on this like his property and stuff like that. And they be like documenting it and putting it on like Netflix.
I have no interest in going.
I have none either. That's why I be like, you know what I'm saying? You gotta know, like, not
What you do?
necessarily you ain't gotta know, but be aware at least, you know what I'm saying? People be like, oh no, these things don't be possible. I mean, maybe not.
Be
But
aware
but if
is
you
true.
if you out there and you camping and you know what I'm saying, you having a great time with your family and you out in the middle of Virginia, uh, you might have wanted to check in. Not necessarily check in like people be talking about check in, because that should be no check in like with the myths and the lores and the legends of what's going on, what they be talking about. Because you might, you know what I'm saying, get a B&B or rent out a place and next door the lady's a serial killer. Little stuff like that. You don't even know that. You know
It's
what I'm
so
saying?
true.
Or like she's a mass murderer and she just does rituals every freaking, on all of the people that's out of towners that she lures from bars or whatever. But you don't know because you didn't even do research on the city. You know what I'm saying? Or you just took it as a joke, like you get your butt up in them woods and they yellow tape you out
See that?
because you wanted to
You see that?
because you wanted to go by yourself. Nah, you better be. Nah, I mean, live life, live life. But be aware.
Be aware.
These people not just, one would say, one would not say, one could say, one not could not say that these people not just like making movies out of, they're not. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
What do
stay
you think
aware.
about that?
Um, it's kind of deep. I'm all for staying aware.
Instantly, yeah, to be aware is to be alive.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah,
I'm all for that.
yeah, yeah. Hmm.
Campfire's light cast shifting shadows upon the trees, mirroring the flame's erratic dance. But the true terror lay in your grandfather's transformation, an agonizing metamorphosis that defied the laws of nature. Imagine the sensation of fur sprouting from his skin, the sensation of bones contorting and shifting beneath the surface. His body became a canvas of pain and transformation, the boundaries of humanity giving way to the ferocity of the beast within. And then, as the moon cast its silvery glow upon the land, he felt his very essence shift, his humanity slipping away as the curse took hold. The night became a frenzied dance of violence and agony.
He says it took hold. Yeah, okay. Can't nothing have my soul.
Instantly,
I mean nothing.
Inst- instantly, let them know. Let them know.
Mm, it's a strong no for me.
Strong, no.
Yes.
A symphony of teeth and claws, of fur and blood. As you listen to this tale, my dear grandchildren, let your hearts beat in time with your grandfather's torment, and may you feel the weight of his struggle against the unrelenting curse that forever bound him to the beast. Story 4. The Beckoning Whispers of the Wendigo. Ah, my darlings, Let me transport you to a time when the boundaries between reality and nightmare were as thin as a whisper. Imagine a man named Raken, a traveler who embarked.
Specific name.
Reagan.
That's very close to Reagan.
It is.
That's very specific. He probably talking about his cousin.
Mm-hmm.
On a journey through the heart of
Because we don't know him. He like, don't Reagan nothing to tell his story. He got like three family members of werewolves. He just telling his family story.
Fraser Canyon, oblivious to the horrors that awaited him. Picture his footsteps echoing through the silence, each step a heartbeat in the rhythm of the night. The wind's whispers carried secrets that seemed to beckon him deeper into the woods, promising mysteries that would forever change the course of his life. The night was dark, the moon obscured by heavy clouds. And as I recount his encounter, imagine the tension that hung in the air, as if the very forest held its breath in anticipation. As he ventured deeper, the hollow eyes of the Wendigo met his gaze, a sight that sent a shiver down his spine. The air thick with a malevolence that seemed to seep from the very trees themselves. The wind carried the creature's mournful howls, the sound intertwining with its whispers, and the campfire's glow cast flickering shadows that danced in time with his racing heart. But this tale holds more than just fear, my loves. As he fled through the forest, each breath and footstep a desperate plea for survival. Imagine the feeling of your own heart racing, your breaths carried away by the wind's chilling embrace. When he finally reached the village, a deep slash upon his arm served as a chilling reminder of the Wendigo's touch, a mark etched into his flesh that would forever bind him to the dark secrets of Fraser Canyon. As you huddle by the campfire, my dearest grandchildren, let this tale wrap you in its chilling embrace, and may you sense the echo of Raken's fear as if it were your own. Stay tuned for more tales, my dear ones, as the night's shadows lengthen and the fire's warmth holds the darkness at bay. Story 5. The
If I had this story as a shorty, I would have had everybody shaking. Oh no, stop! Stop! You can't go to bed after this. This is what like campfire stories are made of. You know what I'm saying? This is like
Yes.
the creme de la creme of
Yes.
campfire stories, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Mm, mm. Just from that perspective alone is appreciable, you know? Like I could like, uh revisit this moment if for lack of better, use. Revisit this moment later on in life and if not tell the same story, spice up minds in a similar dynamic for sure.
Mm. That says a lot.
Yeah. You like it so far though?
I
You
do.
think it's interesting.
Very interesting. And I'm all into horror, so I love this.
And that's what's up. That's what's up.
phantom footsteps of the skinwalker. Lean in, my precious ones, as I share a tale that was whispered to me by your great uncle, a tale that still chills his bones.
Nigga know all our family allegedly, huh?
Wait.
You talking about grandfather, remember?
Yes.
Now you talking about great uncle. Wait, what?
Yes.
Whoa.
Whoa.
Hold on. Because I ain't heard none of these stories before.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I can see my grandfather got a few war stories I ain't hear about. You know what I'm saying? Then you come up with some chill out little fool watch it about your grand uncle. Whoa.
Whoa.
Who are you, mister?
But why did he have to whisper it?
Yeah.
He said he's finna whisper it in his ear? What are you whispering?
It's,
That's to get the spooky or the what? Why are you
yeah,
whispering?
the art of storytelling is amazing. Mhm.
It's a tale of a group of friends who embarked on a journey, unaware that their lives would be forever marked by the malevolent tricks of the Skinwalker. Picture their laughter hanging in the air like a haunting melody, the campfire's glow casting eerie shadows upon the ground. The wind whispered secrets.
So you familiar with the term of a skinwalker?
I'm not.
It's a
What
person.
is that?
It's see, look, you gotta be like you got, cause you be traveling too. You be traveling.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta know like these type of things, cause like, say for instance, you in Brazil. You know what I'm saying? And then like you just doing you or whatever, and then like okay, so a skinwalker, it look like a regular person. You know what I'm saying? Or like say for instance, you'll be over off doing something and then you'll hear like a baby crying or something like that. And then, or somebody crying for help or asking for help or you know what I'm saying? And then you got a good heart, right? Boy, they finna get you. So,
It just
they
depends.
finna get you out here because like that's how they get that like the book of Eli. You know what I'm
They pull
saying?
off your heart.
They that's how these creatures and entities move. Like you'll hear like somebody like help me, and you in like the woods or something. You know what I'm saying? Like for real. And then like,
And they
nah.
get you.
And then like, and it be like you be thinking it's a person, or you'll see somebody, and then it shift on you until like
Mm-hmm.
you gone. And got you. They didn't got you. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
They didn't real life got you. So watch out, y'all. You know what I'm saying? Watch out.
Watch out, please.
Watch out. They'll be at these bars in New Mexico with these fine shorties and you thinking it's sweet and then you leave with one and then you know what I'm saying she got you all drunk and you intoxicated and then she smoking.
Mm, that's how it go.
Yeah, yeah. Or sell your parts. I mean
You
what
are right.
what
Mm.
but what do you do? I guess they would be in that kind of activity, huh? Because I mean they would have like niggas that they chill with when they're not killing people.
Mm-hmm. For sure.
That's crazy.
Secrets.
But no,
Secret.
no, no. That's what a skinwalker is.
Excuse me.
A skinwalker is an entity posing as a human.
Mm-hmm.
Now there's different. I guess there's different. Not I guess. Everybody got their different. Every culture has its different,
Different version.
slight different version of what a skinwalker is. It could be a, could be a werewolf. It could be, you know what I'm saying, a hag, a maid. You know what I'm saying, like. One of them joints, but
Gotcha.
they out here.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? Even though when it get dark outside on them country roads, you
Mm-hmm.
better watch it. You get scooped up.
Mm.
Scoop you up.
Secrets that hinted at the horror that awaited them. As the night deepened, their unease grew. Claw marks gouged into their belongings. Footprints appearing as if conjured by some dark magic. The wind's whispers seemed to carry the weight of their impending doom. And then, a blood-curdling howl shattered the silence, drowning out their own breaths. The campfire's light flickered, as if sensing the malevolent presence, and the shadows seemed to writhe and twist in response. Imagine the sensation of your own heart racing, your breaths hitching, as you
Your
hear
breath
the
stitching.
scream of terror that shattered the night. The Skinwalker's phantom footsteps had claimed its victims. Story 6. The unrelenting curse of the werewolf. Ah, my beloved grandchildren.
Then we had that title.
Mm. Yeah.
But yeah.
Allow me to share a tale that your great-grandmother shared with me. One that
What is? Say it.
This nigga going down the family tree.
Mm-hmm.
What he trying to say? That the whole legacy?
Yes, it is.
Nah, what he trying to say? The whole legacy? Yeah, he could be on that kind of time, but I already thought he won 96 y'all, so y'all good. But what is he? Is he trying to say that like the whole family line or like the whole legacy or like your whole lineage,
Mm.
knew about these things, had, and you may not know that he know of these things, and then at the end he gonna try to like tell us that he's one, and then try to like, we're gonna kill you
Yeah.
on some type.
Mm.
Cause like this nigga going down, oh, you grandma? Now you know
Now
my
you
grandma.
know.
You know my grandma nothing? That's crazy. You don't know my grandma there. You don't you don't know Sharon, bro.
Right.
What's your grandma? What's your grandma? What's your grandma? What's your grandma? What's your grandma?
Thelma.
You don't know Thelma.
Mm-mm.
No. No. Thelma would have took a sip of that gin
Man.
and would have grabbed fathead shotgun out the back and blue folks
Absolutely.
shit back.
Absolutely.
And then went on and made some greens or something like
Yeah, that's
that.
the truth. In that order.
In that order, she would have put him off in them greens. You
Yeah.
ever had some smoke werewolves?
Ooh. That was that would
That
have
would
been
have been a
crazy.
new family recipe.
Boy.
You gotta you gotta have some rare. You gotta get some rare meat. Like you can't really eat that like that. It's a delicacy, but when you come across a werewolf, oh yeah, my grandma got a recipe for that. Smoke them up real good. Jeez, that's crazy.
That sent shivers down her spine, even as she spoke. It's a tale that will remind you that even the most serene nights can hide the most monstrous of transformations. Picture a moonlit night when the air itself seemed to shimmer with magic. Imagine the feeling of your grandfather's footsteps echoing through the stillness, the wind carrying with it a sense of foreboding. As he ventured deeper into the night, the creature's eyes glowed.
Voting. I know what it means, but that's the first time I heard that word. I know a lot of words.
What
I
it
know a
mean?
lot of based on context clues. You can. I just smoked. We talking. So I'm in and out right now. You know what
I
I'm
got
saying? I but based on context clues, I could tell you what he was talking about. But now I just don't even call right now. Like you just threw me off.
you.
But yeah, no, like I never heard that word. But based on context clues, I gathered what it meant. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? If I would rewind it and hear it again, I could be like, okay, well, yeah, I gathered that. I was like, hold on, wait, he just slid one in there. You know what I'm saying? I'm
Mhm.
very big on that. If I hear a word that I've never heard before, I'll look it up. I'll look it up
What's the
on it.
word right now?
Forbidding, foreboding, foreboding, forbidding, foreboding.
Mm.
Yeah,
Yeah, I never heard it.
never heard of that either. You know what I'm saying? Uh, but it definitely stood
I
out
think
to
you're a
me.
little smarter than me.
Nah, everybody got their own, you know what I'm saying, level of intellect or level of smarts. Like, you know a lot about seamstry, or
Yours is through the roof.
but you know a lot, like, you know a lot about seamstress, right?
Mm-hmm.
And if we was to have conversations about that, you would seem to be more intelligent than me. If we
Mm-hmm.
were to start talking about baking, right, you would seem to be more intelligent to someone that doesn't know anything about baking. So everybody
Yeah.
has their own degrees of intelligence, you know what I'm saying, or their fields of mastery.
Mm-hmm.
With an otherworldly fire, its chilling howls reverberating through his very bones. The wind itself seemed to mimic those howls, as if it were a part of the creature's dark symphony. The campfire's light cast shifting shadows upon the trees, mirroring the flames' erratic dance. But the true horror lay in your grandfather's own transformation, an unthinkable nightmare that twisted and contorted his very being. Imagine the sensation of fur against his skin, the taste
Well, I
of
say
blood
my
on his
grandfather
tongue,
done turned up.
the
Whoa.
insatiable hunger that gnawed at his insides. And then, as the moon cast its silvery glow upon the land, he felt his bones shift and twist, his very essence consumed by the beast within. The night became a frenzy of teeth and claws, of fur and blood, a nightmare brought to life. When the dawn broke, he stood amidst the wreckage, a creature that was once a man, forever bound to the curse of the werewolf. Remember, my dearest grandchildren, that even the most serene nights can hold within them the most horrifying of transformations. Story 7. The Eerie Whispers of the Wendigo's Forest. Lean in, my dear ones, as I recount a tale that your great aunt shared with me, a tale of an encounter with the chilling whispers of the Wendigo's forest. Imagine a time when the very trees seemed to come alive with an ancient malevolence, a tale that reminds us of the darkness that lurks just beyond the light. Picture your great aunt's voice, soft and trembling, as she spoke of that fateful night. The moon's glow painted the world in an eerie silver light, casting long shadows upon the forest floor. Our footsteps echoed through the stillness, and the wind carried with it a haunting chill that seemed to seep into her very bones. As I share her tale, envision the tension that gripped her heart as she ventured further into the woods. The air itself seemed to hold its breath, the silence broken.
See, everybody be talking about off grid, living off grid, tribe this, wholeness that, you know what I'm saying? Um, living in the woods, living off the woods, living off the land. Niggas ain't ready for that.
What?
Niggas ain't ready for that. Fuck a Wendigo pull up on your door. What you gonna do? What you gonna do? What you gonna do?
You're right.
You so used to uh, your ops on the block that you did not know that you had ops in the woods. You know what I'm saying? You pull up in the woods, you think it's all willy-nilly. You trying to do better for you. You can put the gang and street life to the side. You beat a nigga up for whoa. Now you know, you know what I'm saying?
You're like, hold on.
Now you can come across a old Wendigo and you gotta save and defend your family because you want to be nature boy.
Mm. It's a crazy one.
But no, I'm not saying don't do it, but be prepared. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
Be prepared. Like, I mean, even if these things or things like these things don't exist or aren't existing, to be prepared is to be, forewarned,
Yeah.
because
Mm-hmm.
it's a lot of stuff that we used to think, well, not we, but a lot of stuff that people used to think didn't exist or weren't actual concepts. The last 3 years, we finding out all type of stuff is like legitimate real. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like classified documents, like being declassified. You know what I'm saying? Things or phenomena is happening that can't be explained or being explained or disclosed.
Mm.
So, don't just throw things out the window, especially like if there's extensive details on these things. Like, how can you speak fluent Spanish? How can you go to Mexico and speak fluent Spanish and never heard Spanish a day in your life?
That's crazy to me.
You know what I'm saying? And then,
That's crazy
you know what
to
I'm saying?
me.
So that's like
I just can't picture it. That's crazy to
you
me.
making a story up out of nowhere that has no hints of truth or relevance. Yeah, I mean, I mean, not everybody, but imagination is real. To be imaginative is real. You can't make up things, but a lot of things come from or stem from reality or truth.
I had a question. Is it something on my lips?
No, it's not. She was banging them ribs. You know what I'm
Man,
saying? No, you're
turkey.
good.
Let's
Let's be specific.
yeah.
This one almost up.
Only by the soft rustling of leaves beneath her feet. And then, in the heart of the night, she saw them, the hollow eyes of the Wendigo, glowing like orbs of malevolence. The wind carried the creature's mournful cries, and the campfire's flickering light cast eerie shapes that danced with the rhythm of her fear. But this tale is more than just a fleeting encounter, my darlings. As she turned to flee, her heart pounding, her breaths mingling with the wind's mournful howls, imagine the sensation of your own heart racing in time with her terror. When she finally reached the safety of the village, she carried not just the memory of the encounter, but a lingering sense of dread that would forever remind her of the sinister whispers that echo through the Wendigo's forest. Story 8. The enigmatic lure of the changeling. Gather close, my precious grandchildren, as I share a tale that your great uncle once revealed to me, one that speaks of the enigmatic lure
Was
of the
he always
changeling.
saying was he always saying grandchildren?
Yeah.
Or did we just become children? Now that he didn't say he knew everybody in the family. Now he want to reveal
Everybody.
himself as a forefather of ours.
Everybody.
All right, he been saying that.
No, he been saying
Okay, right. I just wanted to make sure. I
It's a
thought he
tale of
was.
deception and danger, a reminder that not all that appears before us is as it seems. Picture a group of friends, their laughter and voices, a symphony of.
I just hit y'all with the 3196 frequency. So anytime somebody on some BS, you know what I'm saying? They trying to like subconsciously brainwash you or wipe you or something like that. Or like, say for instance, if this person who wrote this or made this story was on some sinister stuff, right? And he trying to like soul bind you into a negative contract that puts you in lack of or lower vibrational density worlds, right? People don't even be thinking like that. You know what I'm saying? You want to always make sure you 3196 yourself. You know what I'm saying? You want to make sure you always put some hedge of protection over yourself. You know what I'm saying? Some frequency. You know what I'm saying? So just in case, you know, these people they be thinking they be slick, but they ain't slick. But I got y'all for y'all people that ain't thinking. You know,
that. Yes.
but we right here having fun. You know what I'm saying? Campfire stories, but just in case he wanna pop off.
That's right.
You know what I'm
That's
saying? We
right.
pop off. You know, pop
Pop
back off.
off.
You know what I'm
That's
saying?
right.
With him.
Companionship, their faces illuminated by the campfire's gentle glow. The wind whispered secrets, secrets that hinted at a deeper mystery yet to unfold as the night grew darker. So did their unease. Strange symbols appeared etched into the ground, and eerie cries echoed through the stillness. The wind's whispers carried a sense of foreboding, as if it held the answers to the riddle that surrounded them. And then, a haunting melody drifted through the air, a melody that seemed to call to them with an otherworldly allure. The campfire's light flickered, as if it sensed the presence of something beyond the realm of understanding, and the shadows danced in response, casting twisted shapes upon the ground. Imagine the sensation of your own heart racing, your breaths quickening as you hear the haunting melody that beckoned them. The changeling's enigmatic lure had set its trap. Story 9. The Endless Night of the Cursed Werewolf. Ah, my beloved grandchildren. Let me share a tale that your great-grandfather once recounted to me, a tale of an endless night plagued by the curse of the werewolf. It's a story that reminds us of the power of the moon's magic and the darkness that can consume even the strongest of souls. Imagine a moonlit night when the very sky seemed to be painted with the moon's ethereal glow. Your great-grandfather's footsteps echoed through the stillness.
You know, and fear is a low vibratory frequency. You operate in fear, you know, you never can be in your divinity.
You're right.
You know what I'm saying? So
Yes.
like um a lot of things you see going on in the world, previous and now, is a lot of fear. It's to knock you out your divinity. You know what I'm saying? So you want to make sure that you always divine.
Yes.
So anything that they be talking about, you know, we just like I said, out here having fun. We just, you know. having a good time listening to these, campfire stories. But know that we divine and we don't fear anything. So even like I said, if he is on some, or if anybody were, if you were to be on YouTube or any channel and you watching something similar, you get into like this and you like, oh man, this was real interesting. Let me start watching stuff like this, and then like you fall down a rabbit hole of this, and then like somebody got some content of like some like lit stuff. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, and, make sure that you
Nope.
always
Go ahead.
no.
Make sure that you
Make sure that
always.
you always hedged.
That's it.
Hedged. You're not moving in fear. You're not operating in fear. You
Yes.
know, if something starts to test your boundaries on that, know that you have the upper hand at all times, and if you don't gain the upper hand,
Yes.
immediately,
Yes. Immediately. That
immediately.
says a lot. Yes. Immediately.
But this one's pretty much all I said.
The wind's whispers carrying with them a sense of impending transformation. As he ventured deeper into the night, the creature's eyes glowed with a primal fire, its howls merging with the wind's mournful cries. The campfire's light cast shifting shadows that danced like specters upon the trees, and the air was heavy with the scent of impending change. But the true terror lay in your great-grandfather's transformation. A transformation, a transformation that defied the boundaries of the natural world. Picture the sensation of fur sprouting from his skin, the pain of bones shifting and contorting, and the unquenchable hunger that gnawed at his insides. And then, as the moon's glow intensified, he felt his very essence shift, his humanity giving way to the beast within. The night became a frenzy of teeth and claws, a whirlwind of fur and blood, a symphony of agony and violence that seemed to echo through the very fabric of the night. When the dawn finally broke, he stood amidst the wreckage, a creature that was once a man, forever bound to the curse of the werewolf. Story 10. The Haunting Whispers of the Windwalker. Listen closely, my dearest grandchildren, as I share a tale that your great-grandmother shared with me, one that still chills the air whenever it's spoken aloud. This tale is of the Windwalker, a being of shadow and wind, a reminder that the elements themselves can harbor ancient secrets. Imagine a moonlit night when the very air seemed to shimmer with a mysterious energy. Your great-grandmother's footsteps echoed softly through the silence, the wind's whispers carrying with them a sense of trepidation. As she ventured further into the night, the creature's presence seemed to wrap around her like a haunting embrace. Its form shifted with the wind, its eyes gleaming with an otherworldly light. The wind's mournful cries seemed to harmonize with the creature's own song, and the campfire's glow cast eerie shapes that danced upon the ground. But the true horror lay in the creature's whispers that seemed to come from all directions, as if carried by the very wind itself. They spoke of ancient tales and forgotten secrets, of promises and curses that...
Now I've been in spaces, and I've read things. I'm a reader. I read a lot, and I read a lot of different books, a lot of different literature. And one thing that I come across or came across, right, was there's so many. 'Cause you can't tell me that this doesn't exist because there's so many transformational joints that like speak on in details of like niggas that's like pulling it off. You know what I'm saying? Like putting a dagger, a golden dagger in a tree stump, performing a front flip over it. When you perform the front flip over it, you turn into the werewolf. And then if you want to turn back, you approach the tree stump the opposite way that you approached it, and you do a backflip over the tree stump. But if the dagger is not there, then you fuck. Like details like that. Like if the dagger's not there, you're stuck or you're fucked. You know what I'm saying? Like
You
that's
got to go.
you had to see that,
Yes.
experience that.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So like
Mhm.
even if I've not done that, the information of me reading that, it's like, oh dang, there's people out here that's on BS, or you don't be sleep on a park bench.
Yeah,
You know what
it's
I'm saying? On a
exactly.
Friday, on a full moon lit night, you know what I'm saying? You sleep on a park bench. You got more than bums to be worried about. You know what I'm saying? Or stuff that say, if you ever find yourself in a position to where you're homeless, always keep mirrors or keep a mirror around you, right? Or keep a mirror that on your person. So when you sleep, you got a mirror by you. So if you get approached by one, it sees its reflection
Mhm.
and it runs away. Like that's very detailed. That's extremely detailed.
That's extremely detailed. You're absolutely right.
You know what I'm saying? So
I'm trying to picture it
that,
like in
that
my head.
that's
That's detailed.
That's extremely detailed. So for those things to be in public domain or for other people to read, there's some stuff going on.
Ooh, a lot.
There's
That
some stuff
span
going on.
generations, of promises that span generation. As I recount this tale, imagine the sensation of your own heart racing, your breath hitching, as you hear the haunting whispers that surrounded your great grandmother. The Windwalker's secrets had ensnared her in its grasp, and the echoes of its whispers would forever linger in her memory. And so, my dear grandchildren, as the fire's warmth envelops you, remember these tales that have been passed down through the ages. May they serve as a reminder that even within the safety of our campfire's glow, the darkness holds its mysteries and its horrors.
How far is that?
In the wilderness? In the wilderness?
Mm,
Oh no, they was just,
okay.
yeah. But, oh man. What you think about that? That was good.
That was the good
That was good. That was good.
one. Hmm.
What y'all thought about that? Y'all like that? Y'all like that? Drop some comments, man. What y'all thought? Comments, like, share, subscribe. But this has been another episode of Allegedly Demetria.
Guess what? Just the way I like it. Peace.
Peace.